Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez. And baby, we heard it all last year. Dating was not great, okay? But we're gonna change that in 2026, okay? And today I have Dr. Thais Gibson to actually, break down all that intention we gotta put into it, the effort we gotta put into it. And we got some singles who are gonna talk about their expectations for 2026. But first, I've got Fielding's Wood Grill and Fielding's Local. Did I get it?
You got it.
Come on, Carrie.
Yes.
I
Bring
remember
it.
you. Julie Kaizen, bartender there. You brought me some zero-proof cocktails.
Indeed, indeed. So first, this is the cucumber basil margarita. So
Wait, margarita. Tequila in here?
non-alcoholic margarita.
Oh, that's what
I
I'm
know,
talking about.
I know. So you feel fancy, but it's not real. So we use the Seedless 108, which is it's a complex mix of there's herbs, there's traditional garden herbs in there as well, peas, things like that. We do fresh pineapple juice, fresh pressed lime juice. We muddle cucumbers, a little agave.
Oh, you put as
give it a
much
shake.
love into this as you would any cocktail.
Lots of love.
Okay, well, we're gonna see some other things too, right?
Definitely.
Perfect, I'll be back.
Definitely, yeah.
But first, Thais is waiting, so let's get into it.
Yeah, what's up for a nightcap? Chill, kick back.
I am so excited to talk about this because so often on this show we talk about how horrible dating is, but we're going to talk about how to make it better this year, okay? We are going to change the script on this, and we have the perfect person to discuss it. We've got attachment style expert and the founder of the Personal Development School, Dr. Thais Gibson. Thanks for being here, babe.
Thank you so much for having me. I know we're going to have a great time.
Yes. All right. On this show, all I hear about is, and it's going to be disgusting, but the dating pool here is filled with feces, with piss, and all the bad things, okay? And this is everyone across the board complains the same way. I maybe have one or two people per episode say, not per episode, but maybe per month say,
Wow.
like, it's actually good. It's fine. I'm having fun. And those are typically the ones that aren't actually looking for a relationship, but are having fun out there playing the field.
Interesting.
So, how do we change that in 2026, doctor?
So I think one of the first things that people get wrong is honestly, they go into dating and they don't truly take the time first to figure out what they want. And so that means you're going to be looking in all the wrong places, you're going to be looking for the wrong people, and then you're going to learn everything the hard way. So I always say to people as an analogy, you don't go to Indeed to find a job and be like, oh, let's just apply to the first 10 jobs that show up in a row. Because you're just gonna have so many, if you're, an engineer, a gardener, like, it's gonna be crazy.
Right.
So what you wanna do is you need to know what you're actually looking for first, and that's like your prerequisite to dating. So if you know, okay, I'm looking for somebody who's emotionally available, maybe somebody who's working on themselves, you're probably not gonna find them at like the nightclub every Saturday.
Right.
You're gonna instead go to maybe personal development conferences or places like that. So first thing is you need to know, what are you looking for? What are your needs? And then what are your non-negotiables? What I tell people is every time you're about to meet somebody, you go on a date, first thing that you want to do, go on the date, see if there's chemistry, see if there's a spark and a connection, you know what you want. Don't start like vetting somebody either like it's a checklist, like, oh, a job interview on the first date. Just go have fun. And if you think there's a spark, now that you know your needs and your non-negotiables, ask one meaningful question on each date after. So you're not
Each day after.
Exactly. So you're not job interviewing anybody.
But babe, what you're describing is multiple dates without even knowing, like, what?
Yeah. So each day after. So for example, right? Like I know for me, I've been in a marriage for a long time, but if I were dating somebody, I would want to know that they can work through conflict. That would be a non-negotiable. So I would get that
How do you
out of the
ask
way.
that?
Exactly. So you go on your first date, have fun. Second date, you're an hour into the date, and you might say, hey, like, how do you handle conflict? What do you do when you have a conflict in your life with friends, family? Like, how do you show up? And you drop it in. You have to do it sort of, not too intensely.
Like after we clink some wine. So how do you handle conflict?
Exactly. No, but you might say, hey, what do you do when somebody's in an argument with you? Like, how do you show up? And then you're hearing their answer to things. You're seeing how they respond. And if they say, oh, I'm not a big conflict person, I don't address it, I shove it under the rug, you might say, okay, well, are you willing to change that? I think it's important to talk things through. And if they say no, you don't go on another date. And so you're getting your non-negotiables out of the way early. Usually people have 3 or 4 non-negotiables, the things that they like will not continue with. It's just not a fit for them. And you're getting to know somebody organically. I really don't believe in job interviewing people on dates. I've seen that go very south for many people.
Yeah.
And so you ask those meaningful non-negotiables first. And then after that, you start telling people what your needs are, but you don't do it in a way. I've seen this far too often. People go and they sit down and they say, my needs are for consistency and communication. And it's like, okay, that's going to freak out everybody. Instead, we need to sit down and be able to say, oh, hey, I love that you were really consistent with text messages. Maybe you're a few dates in, you say what you appreciate, what you notice, you say what you like in other people, or things that are meaningful to you in friendships. You tell people what you appreciate and you frame your needs that way. And that allows somebody to get to know who you are and what you're looking for, and then decide how they want to show up.
It like a dissertation.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we get to keep the organic, room to build a spark, room to see if there's a real connection.
Yeah.
But then you're also giving the meaningful information and asking the meaningful questions. You get those big ones out of the way first so you don't waste your own time, but then you get to really have that momentum in dating.
Okay, I'm seeing 2 issues.
Okay, let's hear them.
And not with you and your plan, with people handling this. When they develop their list of needs and non-negotiables, oftentimes we hear height, we hear salary needs, and things that can be shallow, right? How do people work through that and really get to the nectar of like what they actually want and not what they're desiring? Because like it might be just 1% of the population that fulfills, you know, those.
I love that question. I love that question. I always tell people that physical attributes are preferences, not non-negotiables. Non-negotiables have to be relational. They have to be things that are going to take place between you, how you interact, how you show up together, how you build a life together. So things like, oh, somebody doesn't want children and one person wants children. I mean, that's obviously a bad situation to be in, but that's not a physical attribute. So physical attributes we put as preferences. We relegate those to the preference list. And I know that some people, they like to really lead with those things as being of the utmost importance, but you have to decide, do you want a healthy relationship? Do you want a successful relationship? And if you're willing to say yes to that question, I do want a successful relationship, then what you actually have to be able to do is realize that successful relationships are not built on physical attributes. Unfortunately, if you're trying to be in a long-term marriage, those things you forget about. You don't even, in years and years, you know, those things will change. People's appearance will change. So we put those to preferences. It's totally okay to have preferences. I believe in that too. You don't want to be dating somebody that you don't feel really attracted to in the beginning, of course. But preference, not non-negotiable.
Okay. Y'all pay attention, all right? Okay. The next thing is the time that it takes to get through these needs questions if you're going it per date. Like some men say they know within the first 15 minutes of being with someone whether or not that's the case. And some women are like, why am I wasting my time? You know, like to get pretty for this person when, you know. So finding out, you know, on date 4 that they don't want kids and I want kids, it's like, well, we wasted 4 dates, no?
Yeah, so that's why you go with your non-negotiables first. Usually you have 3 or 4. If somebody's like, listen, I need to know like everything as quickly as I can, you could do 1 or 2, but instead of just 1. But truly, I think that's something that really ruins the chemistry and the connection and the spark and takes that organic part out of it, is when you ask too many heavy-hitting questions right up front that are very intense. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we think of things and we think that we're you know, oh my gosh, I need to know everything right away. You need to get to know the person as a human being. Like that can't be on the back burner. And so what I found is when people start pushing their non-negotiables too much, like they go in the 3, do you want children? How do you handle conflict? They start bringing these things up very quickly. It just feels like a job interview and it ruins the organic spark. And then you're left going on, and I would see this with a lot of women and men both, honestly. They go through that cycle of doing that and they're like, no, I gotta know. I have to know. I don't want to waste my own time. But they end up wasting more of their own time, accidentally pushing people away during dating instead of truly being present with the person, having that opportunity for the connection to flow. And then they waste more time because they go on so many extra dates.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, listen, Thais, I'm going to actually bring 3 singles to the couch. See what their approach to 2026 is, and we'll discuss. You down?
I love it.
All right, you stay right there. We've got 3 singles joining us after the break. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We're discussing dating in 2026 and how we're going to change it all. We're going to do it right. I've got singles joining us now. We've got LaToya Lemon back. Hey, baby.
Hey, I'm so glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. In the middle, we've got Jay Bradley.
Always good to see y'all. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. We've got Reina Mejia, Miss Ray.
Back again.
Back again. And Dr. Thais Gibson. All right. Y'all heard my conversation with her about 2026, but I want to hear from you individually. Like, how are y'all approaching 2026 when it comes to your love life? Okay, take a
drink.
sip, girl.
This is gonna
you
be
know, there's no alcohol in that,
Right.
though. But,
I'm going to pretend that there is because I'm going to need it
the
for this
vibes.
combo.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm approaching it in a way where I'm letting it approach me, you know?
Okay.
I think that that's the way that I'm looking at it. Like, I'm not going after anything. If it comes to me, I'm going to entertain it for what it is.
Okay, so that means you're staying off the apps. That means you're
Never was on the apps.
Okay. You're not actually going out and seeking.
No, I'm going out for me.
And doing
And
what
if
you do.
something happens, if somebody approaches me, cool. We can see what that looks like. But I'm no longer like, oh, let me get dressed up and I know all the hot guys are going to be. I don't even care as much anymore.
So you're not prioritizing it anymore. I'm not. I could say the same thing for me. I feel like this year I'm going into it like it is not my number one priority to date, to
Right.
find somebody. It is my priority. I feel like to put myself first, and then whatever happens, that's how I know it was meant to be because I wasn't looking for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for
about
the
you?
ladies.
No, okay, hold on.
Jay,
We're here
what
for the
about
ladies
you?
now.
Why did both of y'all gear back?
We're
Like,
like,
what you
hold
gotta
on.
say? I feel like it's about to be this, you know what I mean?
This is not a guys versus girls episode.
No,
This is an
I'm okay for the
individual
smoke. I
single.
realize it's a pink couch, and you know what I mean. I'm okay. I came ready. All smoke accepted. No, I feel like I'm gonna do it the same way I did it last year. I've been preparing to be the man that I want to be in a relationship, and so I felt like I don't think you're ever fully done with that, but I feel like we attract who we are. And so for me, it's just focusing focus on making sure that I've taken care of my part, and then I feel like I'll attract that. And the women that I attract in Houston, as I've been on my personal growth journey, have been amazing. Whether they're my wife or somebody else's wife, I've been attracting what I am.
Wife.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big word.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
she's chopping at the bit.
She's ready. She's
Come
ready.
on, Thais,
She's ready.
let's go.
She heard that last one was like, let me go, let me go, let me go.
So 67% of people who report finding their spouse
Sorry,
or
I got
significant
kids.
other
6, 7.
said that it was when they weren't looking rather than when they were. And I see this all the time with people. It's usually when you're not coming from the place, because I think when people are trying to look so hard for somebody, they sort of admit this idea of, oh, let me be what I think you need me to be.
Right.
And there's this neediness and there's this self-abandonment, and they don't show up as their authentic self and in their truth. Whereas when people are like, no, I'm going to do me, I'm open, you have to stay open, but I'm going to do me, I'm going to show up as my best self, prepare myself to be the best version of myself for somebody else, and then I'm going to stay open and keep doing my own thing. That's almost, the data says 67%. I actually, in all the people I've spoken with, it seems to be even more sometimes.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so you like everything they have
I
to
thought
say.
those were good answers. We're going to give a...
It gives me more hope. But I feel like there's this new term out here now called dating with intention, dating intentionally. And it's almost like it's becoming so popular in 2026. I see TikToks on it all the time. It's like, what does it really mean to us as Gen Zs, as millennials especially? I think it's more of like going in with a plan in mind and communicating that thoroughly. But how can you, because I can date with intention and I can also not be looking for it. So I feel like, how do you merge the two without kind of making that a priority?
Did you hear our conversation and how she said you need to work on yourself and figure out your preferences, your needs, and your non-negotiables? Have you done that?
Yet, I mean, I have not sat down and like really put a pen to paper, like what am I looking for? What do I want? But I feel like if that's what you're saying is like, it's gonna come to me whether I'm looking for it or not, I need to be ready.
But it's intentional. I think, not to cut you off, I feel like that's where the intent comes from. Like, you can't really say I'm looking for someone, but you haven't put down what you're looking for. Because to me, I feel like that's when you just begin to attract nonsense, right?
Yeah.
So you're attracting all these things because you haven't identified, this is what I want. This is the desire of my heart. This is what looks and feel good to me. Otherwise, it's kind of like we're winging it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like, whoever I attract here and there, I'll see where it goes.
Right.
And like, that's for sure what I'm not trying to do. So that's why I'm not even going on dates.
And I know this is not like a male perspective, right? But my dad, when I was asking him, like, hey man, what kind of woman should I marry? He was like, man, focus becoming the man that she wants to marry. right? And it's really, it starts with us, and then of course we attract who we are. So when we say like, hey, I want this type of person, I always think about, what would that person want from me? You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I start from there, because first of all, it's about me and who I bring to the table and who I show up as. And honestly, man, I want my wife to get a whole nother version that anybody, when she talks to my ex-girlfriend, girl, he didn't do that. Oh, he does that for me. Like all the time.
Ooh, okay,
Like,
now I
you know
already
what I mean?
see Dr. Gibson's ready to dive in. So listen, you stay right there. More of this conversation after the break. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We're talking about dating in 2026 with Latoria, Jay, Raina, and Dr. Thais Gibson. All right. I feel like they get gold stars across the board. We brought a good group of singles together, because you have been, very happy with their responses. Yes?
I have been. I really like the responses. I think the one thing is that middle ground, if you want to not be looking, to take that intentional time is really good, but then to say, okay, when I do decide to go back out to just being open, then to have that okay, look, this is what I'm looking for. These are my needs. These are my standards and preferences. But yeah, you guys are giving great answers.
I like what you said earlier too. You said like, have those non-negotiables in mind. Like, what is something I will not compromise on, and whether it comes to me or not, how can I not, if I'm not going to put up with nonsense and just date whoever, I need to know exactly what I'm looking for. Those non-negotiables, like, can you give some examples of like what should be some
Definitely.
that are not just like, and I feel like you said it earlier, but I need to hear it again.
Definitely. I will definitely answer that. I just want to also point out one thing that you said that is really important, that Jay said, is that sometimes if you are single, I think being single is a huge benefit. In this moment, if you're looking at things through, I want to make myself the best version of myself, because what I've seen a lot of times in long-term marriages is somebody decides to go on a personal growth journey once they're in a marriage and they start growing and their partner doesn't. And that's really difficult and really tricky on couples, and a lot of people can communicate their way through that and figure that out. But if you're single, evolve into the best version of yourself first, like you're doing, and then you're going to meet somebody who's at that level and not have to go through that later on.
Oh
so
my
I actually
God,
thought that.
I hate that you're saying this when we're talking about dating, but like, wow, I identify with that. 11 years deep, and like, my husband will go through a personal growth journey, and I am lazy as shit, and I'm just watching him, and he's obviously building resentment, and now I'm on my like, I'm that bitch energy right now, and like, I am truly like really investing a lot in myself. And I don't know if I got my husband, feeling some type of way, because now he's waking up every morning to go for a walk. I'm like, who is this man? So we're both like, we haven't talked about it at all, but like, we're finally both in our personal growth journey, and it's nice. Yeah. It's nice, but it is difficult when you're, okay, sorry.
When
That's
you're
not what the
already
show
in
is
a
about.
relationship.
Maybe that's why January's been such a good month for
Baby,
you.
but it's been great.
Now we know.
But at least you guys match each other's energy in that way of like, but because imagine if someone would just stay behind. They never got motivated when you were doing it.
I mean, I didn't.
That's what I'm afraid
I
of.
didn't. Ask my husband. For years, I wasn't
these
doing.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
But
like,
that's
this
a
is the
love.
first time that we have, and so it did build like weird, like, oh.
But that's beautiful, because he can love you through that part.
Yeah,
Right? Like
that
a lot
is.
of people, it's like, oh, well, they're not doing this and I'm out.
Right.
And it's been, girl, he's been on his journey for 2 months. Like,
Yeah.
calm down. You know what I mean?
That's that,
But if you
yeah.
went years where you weren't there and he was there, then that's like, he's willing to love you through that. And if you meet him there, cool. If not, cool. Right?
Yeah.
But y'all stay together.
All
That's
right,
dope.
my producer's like, let's get back to the singles. Enough about your married life. Okay. Okay, so Latoria and Jay, we already heard Raina did not do the list. Have y'all done the list? Have y'all figured out your non-negotiables, your needs, and your preferences?
I have. So I did it from a spiritual perspective, right? Because it's easy to do physical, right? Oh, 6'3", whatever. And to me, a lot of times we don't realize if we keep going after the same person, there's a reason it didn't work. Like that same dynamic didn't work the last 50 times you tried. So now let's dig in deeper. And from a spiritual standpoint, like the things that I need are protection, right? I want to be protected. I want to feel your covering. I want to feel your vibe. I want to feel that you're observant. So you can call me on the phone and hear my voice like, you don't sound good. Like, let me, your love language is flowers or communication or these things. And so those are the things that I've written down, because I feel like that speaks more to character versus the essence of what you look like and how you're going to wow me the first 2 weeks. And then after that, it's done, So, yeah.
I think for me, it's very similar to what you're saying. I've always had a type, right? And once I kind of got away from my type and accepted people for who they are, based on how they show up. Now you need to be somewhat attracted to your person, right? But for me, it's really about similar values and wants. I love to go running. I love to go for walks. I love to do that. So since I'm single, I can find somebody that likes to do that now and not have to like, okay, well, maybe I can get her to walk later. Or maybe it's really about that, right? What are the things that are important to me? I like to go to church. I like to spend time with my kids. Do you enjoy time with your kids? Are you a horrible mother? You know what I mean? Like, because that's a non-negotiable for me, right?
Yeah.
But it's not having to be the what I call the boom in the pap or whatever, right? Like, you know, you had Laterrence Whitfield on your couch, and he talked about his book, Student of Love. And for me, it's like, okay, I thought about that title. I was like, I think I've become a student of love because it's just going through the classroom, and it's not. There's no predicted outcome that I want out of experience. If I have a date and it doesn't go great, then wow, I just learned that I'm not really a big fan of this type of personality. So it helps me, and it's becoming that student of what you really want to like graduate from, you know, which I don't think we ever graduate from love.
Yeah. I'm trying hard to think of feedback to give you guys with your answers. Like,
But they're
those are
doing
good answers. Those are good answers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's it. It's like being open. I like what you said about not being attached to the outcome. I think that's another thing that really drives people apart on their dating journey, especially people who are a little more anxious and clingy when it comes to love. They're like, it's time. I need a partner by this time, and they put this pressure on it, and then you're so attached to the outcome you forget to be present with the person.
Absolutely.
And I love what you said about protection, because protection, you know, the way you described it is you wanted to feel seen. You wanted to have somebody understand you. You get on the phone and they say, oh, I can tell you're off. I can tell something's wrong. And you're building a bond that's so much beyond just that physical connection, which of course is still important. But if we start just determining all of our choices by just physical connection and relationships, those are the roller coaster relationships in the long run. Those are always the ones with the biggest ups and downs because it's not built on a strong foundation.
And I think patience too. So in just like looking at dating as a whole, right? I feel like a lot of people have thrown away people too quick because it's like, ugh, I don't like that, so let me go. And I don't think people realize whether you're male or female, it ain't a whole bunch of options out there. So at some point, and I'm not saying collect red flags.
They think there are so many options out
It's
there.
not.
With the exposure to social media and dating apps, it's
not.
just like, I can scroll, I can swipe, I can swipe all day.
Yeah.
You said there is?
There's
There's a ton of options out there.
not
I
good
think
options.
there's not good options, but there's options.
There's options.
And so people will be like, you know, I don't like this one thing about her, so let me go find the next one.
As a
Exactly.
male, I live in Houston, Texas. I have traveled the world. Argue with your mama if you want to, but we have the most beautiful women, degreed up, you know, in the gym, at church. Like I feel
That's
like
outer though. The inner is what we're
degreed up
really
in
looking
inner,
at.
the spiritual in outer. Like I'm talking about, like this is my experience. I have dated some amazing women, and when my friends come into town and they'll see somebody or whatever, and like, oh, you used to date them? Yeah. Man, how did you not marry? How did you not? Like, man, she's somebody's wife, but not my wife. You know what I mean?
Why hasn't it worked? Why hasn't
Right.
it worked?
There's that thing that, you know, that
That one thing, is it the one thing she had a chipped nail or what?
Yeah. What is the
The crooked
For
tooth.
me, it's always a crooked no.
She can't parallel park.
She can't parallel park, right. She don't like cheese on a burger. Who likes a dry burger from Fieldings? You know what I'm saying? I want the cheese on my Fieldings burger. You know
That's
what
all I'm saying. Extra fries. So simple.
Is it like them not meeting one of those non-negotiables for you that's like, I just can't see this as a long term?
It's the whole thing. Like I'm a girl dad first, right? And so I think of like, what man would I want from my daughter to date? And then I come back from that. You know what I mean? So for me, it's I see women now at this point in my life as a whole perspective, right? But there's all those different things like, can you be a good mom? Can you know, can we go for walks? Can we do these different little things and before it was like, oh, she has to have her hair like this. She has to be this skin color. She got to be between this waist. I don't really care about that now. It's the things that
What?
10
What's
years
this
later.
deep breath?
Yeah,
Doc?
she
What's
said,
this deep
oh.
breath?
She did that to Jay. She didn't do that to the
I
ladies.
came for the smoke. I have to smoke, Doc.
Okay, I have a little bit of interesting feedback. So when I see people where they go from relationship to relationship dating, usually there's two underlying features that seem to be why they didn't find that person yet. And you kind of touched on this indirectly. Sometimes it's that we don't feel 100% comfortable, so I'm just checking in with you, not assuming, working through conflict. And most importantly, we don't actually communicate what we need to people. And so what happens is we find somebody with everything we think we would want, you know, no non-negotiables, you know, all the things on paper, okay, goes to church, you know, beautiful person. But if it still gets stuck and we don't seem to find like that person or the one, sometimes it's because you're not actually taking up enough space and saying, hey, this is what I need. Or hey, when I'm feeling tired, I need this in the relationship. And sometimes when we don't communicate and speak up, we end up feeling resentful, distant, and eventually kind of push that person away.
For me, I spent about a year just enjoying me. You know, I'll go to a restaurant by myself, have dinner. I felt like I needed to date myself and see who I was at this point in life. So that way I'm not trying to find somebody that's compatible with old Jay.
Yeah.
You know, and then the new me is like, wow, the stuff that I enjoyed doing 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't enjoy anymore. I would rather be at the house on the couch. You would never find my car parked in my garage before. You know, and so that same person isn't going to work with where I'm at now because they want to be outside. Cool, sweetheart, I'll be at the house on the couch. You know what I mean? So it's just, I've evolved.
You've evolved.
And I don't expect somebody to like the new me, but I really do like new me. New Jay is like, I want to be at the house, man.
Good
Where my
for you.
kids at?
Good for you. That's a good answer. So you've evolved, and now you're taking the time to get to know yourself so you can find that next right person with your new priorities. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, well, listen, cheers to the 2026 and y'all. It may not end in a partner, but it sounds like y'all are working on that self-development, and y'all just going to be you. And
That's right.
if they ready for the ride, they ready for the ride. Hop on and get off. Dr. Gibson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for
All right,
having
did y'all
me.
enjoy these margaritas?
Yes.
Baby, you can find them at Fielding's Wood Grill or Fielding's Local, and we're going to find out how to make it and some other ones after the break. Welcome back to the Nightcap. I'm behind the bar now because I've got the Fielding's crew in the building. We've got, it's not Julie Kaizen, it's Julie Kaizen, bartender. And we've got, you know this guy, the GM, Carrie Attar. And it's time for what? Back that glass up! Nothing, yeah. It's okay, boo-boo, it's okay. You know, I messed up her name, we messed up back that glass up. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you.
All right.
Everyone drank up those margaritas. They are fabulous. They are literally what mocktails should be. They should feel, especially when you're paying for them, it should feel like a cocktail. Like you're still being social and having a good drink. And you delivered.
Good.
So what's in it, babe?
So what we did, we used our Seedlip 108 over here. So it's a complex mixture of, you know, classic garden herbs and peas even. We do fresh pineapple juice, we do some fresh lime juice, we do muddled cucumbers and some basil, and then a little bit of agave in there too to make it a little sweeter.
Oh,
and we shake it up and double strain it in our coupe glass with a little salt rim.
All right, go ahead and do that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, darling, what's going on at the Wood Grill and the Local?
Yeah, so we're doing Dry January at all three restaurants.
Really? Like, truly doing
Steak,
it?
Wood Grill, and Fielding's Local. We have 5 cocktails at each one, crafted by our leadership team and our bartenders. Dry January is here to stay. People like it.
Yeah.
You know, some people have not quite so dry January, but
They got a little moist January, as
They
you've
got
been
moist
saying.
January.
He's
They
been
got
saying
moist
moist January.
January.
He wanted to say it. I'm gonna say it.
that's it.
Moist January.
Right, damp January,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. I see a little treat you got for me.
Right.
What is
So-
this?
So this is by a French manufacturer named Chauvin, and it's Pierre, and it's a line of non-alcoholic wine. So they make wine, and then they use this very fancy vacuum reverse distillation process to remove the alcohol.
I am
first,
skeptical.
Yeah. First, we're going to taste it's from Languedoc.
Landoc.
And so this is their Cremant style, and it's a rosé.
Okay.
So let's give this a try.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
A ver. Okay. Oh, cheers.
There you
Oh
go.
wait, the fragrance on that is phenomenal.
Right?
Oh, that's great.
Here, you grabbed the different
No,
one.
you grabbed a different one.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, it smells really good.
Non-alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Still celebrating.
You know, I feel like I'm still having
It's
the
fun, it's
effervescence.
good,
I'm
it's
having a
alive.
good time. Yeah.
Right? Let's
Okay.
cheers one more time.
Cheers
I
one more
like
time.
that.
Okay, wait.
Little swirl.
Yeah. Okay.
And always drink bubbles in a wine glass. If you're doing champagne glasses, that's fine for an event, but wine deserves a wine glass.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And then the other one I want to show you real quick is a non-alcoholic spritz ready to go.
Spritz ready to go in the bottle.
Spritz ready to go in the bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, orange coming through.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I would want a little more bubbles than that.
Yeah.
I wonder
Well-
what these two combined would be.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I guess we can find out. And then at
I
the
sound
end
like
of,
an alcoholic, but there's no alcohol, y'all.
Exactly.
and then at the end of the month, we're gonna add some alcohol to them.
As one would.
Yes.
But are you going to keep NA options on the menu throughout the year?
Yeah, we're gonna keep. It's a growing category. So as you probably know, alcohol consumption's on a 5-year decline. Beer, liquor, wine, all down. So growth of non-alcoholic beverage in the thousands of percents. People are doing it all the time. And so those of us who drink are obligated to drink more because those who aren't drinking, we have to pick up the slack.
You know, the maths. All right, you actually have one more treat for us.
I do. So this one is a strawberry basil martini, non-alcoholic, of course. So we're gonna start off with what we make in-house is a strawberry basil jam syrup. I'm gonna do some of that in our tin. More than you think, but it's worth it.
It gives it the flavor.
Exactly, you need it. We're gonna do some fresh squeezed lemon juice, which makes all the difference in the world in your cocktails.
So at all Fieldings, we squeeze all our juices, we make all our own syrups, we do all our own extractions, all natural, clean.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that you really do put all the TLC in there.
For sure.
Based solely on just the mocktail you made today. Obviously, I've had your other drinks and we've showcased like that massive.
Yeah, I'm still old-fashioned.
Yeah, that was
Right,
insane.
yes, yeah.
I can't have an old fashioned right now. Oh my God. It's like all of the whiskey alternatives. I need somebody to come up with the best whiskey alternative. Please, somebody
thinking out my way
make it.
here, yeah.
No one's made it yet. At least not to Carolina's liking.
right.
But you know, a girl can dream.
And that's pretty much it. And we just give it
all
a
right,
shake.
shake it up,
Yeah.
girl.
Give it a shake.
Don't worry, we'll probably edit you shaking out. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. All right, what's the name of this one again?
So this is a strawberry basil teeny.
Teeny. Okay, and you used this. I didn't see.
Oh,
what
I
Right.
did, yeah.
Yeah,
Curious to
so
tell you about that.
we bring this water, we have a vendor, Uramid, and they bring this water, still and sparkling from Italy. And it's a minerally correct water. It's got
Minerally correct?
yeah, it's not adulterated, it's not enhanced,
Oh.
it's not adjusted. It comes out of the spring correct, and it's just so good.
All right, we'll see how good it is.
Right.
Okay.
Damn.
Good?
You know, I
Refreshing?
didn't. You know, I thought it was gonna be too sweet.
Yeah.
And martinis ain't sweet.
No,
they
yeah.
shouldn't be. This is actually. I feel like I'm having a cocktail. I feel like I'm cheating on dry January.
But it's not, and it's worth it.
And then that mint, and that little
Yeah.
essence
The
as I
basil,
sip.
yeah.
Oh, the basil. excuse me.
Basil,
Yeah.
yeah.
Woo, okay, all right. Well, we gotta go to. All right, Fieldings.
Fielding's Wood
Wood
Grill
Grill.
and Fielding's Local Kitchen and Bar, both in the Woodlands. Wood Grill's 13 years old, Local's 10 years old. Or if you're in the city, come to Fielding's Steak over at Westheimer and Westland. Amazing. Best steak in town.
And you already heard it. All right, listen, I hope you have a fantastic 2026. If you're dating, baby, maybe consider a date at Fieldings, but make sure you got the non-negotiables down, you've got your preferences, to the side, and your needs down, all right? You heard the doctor. We'll see you guys next time.